Have you ever wondered why some people work hard their entire lives and still struggle, while others seem to unlock opportunities that multiply their money? It often has nothing to do with luck, talent, or even education. The difference is mindset. If your mind is programmed to expect poverty, you'll continue to experience poverty. If your mind is trained to expect wealth, you'll begin to create wealth. Most people don't realize they are stuck inside what I call the poverty program. It's like running an outdated operating system. No matter how much effort you put in, the system produces the same broken results. On the passive path, we're going to explore how you can break free from that program. We'll expose the hidden habits and beliefs that trap you. And more importantly, we'll show you how to rewire your thinking for prosperity. If you've ever felt like life is one long loop of bills, stress, and missed opportunities, this message is for you. Because once you shift the way you think about money, everything else changes. You don't just escape poverty, you create a future where choices, freedom, and opportunity belong to you. That shift starts right now. Stay with me, because what you'll hear in the next few minutes can change the entire path of your financial life. Poor people see money as a way to pay bills. The moment cash comes in, it goes right back out to cover rent, utilities, credit cards, or groceries. There's no room left for growth, only survival. Middle-class thinking looks a little different, but it's still a trap. Here, money becomes a tool to buy things that create the appearance of success: a new car on a 5-year loan, furniture on a credit card, vacations charged to keep up with neighbors or coworkers. The middle class stays trapped because every purchase is tied to debt, and debt locks them into more work just to maintain the cycle. Wealthy thinking works on a completely different foundation. To the wealthy, money is not for paying bills first. Money is not for upgrading lifestyle first. Money is for creating more money before any spending begins. It means putting dollars into assets that multiply instead of liabilities that drain. Think about $1 invested in a simple index fund. Left alone, it compounds year after year, turning into 10, 20, even 100 over time. Now compare that to spending the same dollar on coffee every morning. One creates more for you in the future. The other is gone forever the moment you drink it. The purpose you assign to money decides whether you stay stuck or move ahead. When you start seeing money as a tool to create more money, you flip the entire game. Your bills stop being the main story. Your credit score stops being the measure of success. Your focus shifts toward ownership, growth, and freedom. The difference between being broke, middle class, or wealthy is not about the paycheck. It's about the story you tell yourself every time money enters your hands. Change that story and you change your financial future. Programming shapes how you act with money long before you realize it. As children, many of us heard phrases like "money doesn't grow on trees," or we were told that rich people are greedy. Those words planted seeds that became our unconscious rules. If your parents argued about bills, you may have linked money with stress. If you grew up hearing that wealth was out of reach, you may have learned to settle for just getting by. This programming runs in the background of your life. It decides how you respond to opportunities. It dictates whether you see risk or possibility. It pushes you toward familiar habits, even if those habits keep you broke. Think about how often people spend their entire paycheck within days, even though they promised themselves they'd save this time. That's not a lack of willpower. That's programming doing its job. The mind repeats what it believes, even when it hurts you. The good news is that programming can be rewritten. Every belief that was taught to you can be challenged and replaced. Instead of thinking "I'll never get ahead," you can train yourself to think "I can create new income streams." Instead of repeating "debt is normal," you can choose "ownership is my path." When you shift your programming, your behaviors follow automatically. And when your behaviors shift, your results begin to change. If programming got you into financial struggle, reprogramming can pull you out. The question is not whether you're programmed. The question is what you're programmed for. Once you understand that, you hold the power to choose differently. Poverty will not leave your life until you decide you are done tolerating it. Change begins when you grow tired of living paycheck to paycheck. It begins when you're sick of stressing over rent, credit cards, or medical bills. It begins when you hate the feeling of being trapped in a cycle you didn't choose. Hating poverty doesn't mean hating people who are poor. It means refusing to accept financial struggle as your permanent story. Think of the frustration of working all year, only to take a vacation that feels more like an obligation than a break. Driving long hours to visit family because flights are too expensive. Staying in guest rooms instead of hotels because the budget doesn't stretch. That's not rest. That's survival disguised as leisure. Or think of sitting in a welfare office being told your family could receive more money if you weren't living under the same roof. That's not dignity, that's dependence forced upon you. These situations can ignite one of two responses. You either settle and learn to cope, or you decide you will never live like that again. Hatred of poverty becomes fuel. It pushes you to work smarter, not just harder. It forces you to learn new skills. It drives you to protect your family from repeating the same cycle. Until you reach that point of disgust, poverty will always linger close to your door. But once you hate it enough, you'll beat it back and keep it away. Every financial breakthrough begins with that decision. You must hate being broke more than you fear the judgment of others. You must hate financial stress more than you crave short-term comfort. When your hatred of poverty outweighs your tolerance for it, change becomes unstoppable. Poverty rarely travels alone. It brings partners that work quietly to keep you stuck. The first partner is laziness. Too much sleep, too much television, too much scrolling on your phone. Hours slip away, days slip away, and opportunities vanish. Every moment wasted is a chance you could have used to create value. The second partner is gluttony. This isn't just about food. It's about overconsumption in every area of life. Buying more clothes than you need, eating out constantly, upgrading gadgets every year just to feel current. Gluttony drains your energy and your bank account. The third partner is drunkenness and escapism. Many people use alcohol, drugs, or constant entertainment to escape financial stress, but the escape keeps them broke. The cycle becomes work, stress, escape, repeat. The fourth partner is evil. When corruption, dishonesty, and exploitation dominate, poverty follows. History shows that societies built on exploitation collapse into scarcity. Even on a personal level, choosing shortcuts or dishonest gain often leads to loss. These four partners, laziness, gluttony, escapism, and evil, create a cage around your life. They rob you of energy, they waste your money, they distract you from opportunities. If you want wealth, you cannot let poverty's partners live rent-free in your life. You must recognize them, you must reject them, and you must replace them with stronger allies. To build wealth, you need to surround yourself with new partners. The first partner of prosperity is diligence. Diligence means consistent effort, not occasional bursts of energy. It means showing up day after day, even when motivation fades. Small daily actions compound into major financial results. The second partner is business. Business is about creating value for others in exchange for money. Every successful entrepreneur in North America, from local shop owners to online sellers, thrives because they solve problems people care about. You don't have to invent the next big app. You can start by meeting a simple need in your community. That's how businesses grow, and that's how wealth is built. The third partner is wisdom. Wisdom is not just knowledge, it is applied knowledge. You can read about investing, but until you put money into the market, you don't have wisdom. You can study real estate, but until you buy and manage a property, you don't have wisdom. Wisdom comes from action, reflection, and correction. The fourth partner is service. True wealth is created when you focus on serving others. The wealthiest companies in the world built fortunes by solving problems for millions of people. When you shift your mindset from how can I get more to how can I give more value, money flows naturally. These partners, diligence, business, wisdom, and service, are the allies that replace poverty's traps. When you welcome them into your life, prosperity has no choice but to follow. Reprogramming your mind for wealth begins with awareness. Step 1 is to identify the old beliefs you inherited. Maybe you were told that debt is normal. Maybe you were told that money is always scarce. Maybe you were told that building wealth is for other people, not for you. Write these beliefs down and call them what they are, outdated programs. Step 2 is to replace them with new beliefs. Instead of saying, I can't afford it, ask, how can I create the money for it? Instead of saying, I'll always be stuck, declare, I can build new streams of income. Step 3 is reinforcement. Surround yourself with environments that support your new program. Spend time with people who talk about building, not just spending. Read books and listen to stories of wealth creation, not scarcity. Cut out voices that glorify being broke as the only way to live. Your brain responds to repetition. The more often it hears the new story, the faster it becomes the default. This process is not instant, but it is powerful. Every time you change a thought, you change a choice. Every time you change a choice, you change a result. And when enough results change, your entire life changes. The mind you train today will write your paycheck tomorrow. Escaping poverty programming requires practical steps that anyone can start today. Begin with budgeting. Track every dollar that comes in and every dollar that goes out. When you see where your money goes, you gain the power to redirect it. The next step is building an emergency fund. Even a small cushion of a few $100s protects you from falling back into debt when unexpected expenses arrive. After that, focus on investing early, even with small amounts. A single $100 invested each month in an index fund grows into tens of thousands over time. It's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market. Cut toxic financial habits. Cancel subscriptions you don't use. Cook at home instead of eating out every night. Pay off high-interest debt before it strangles your income. Create multiple income streams. This could mean starting a side hustle like freelance design, tutoring, or landscaping. It could mean renting out a spare room on Airbnb. It could mean selling digital products online that make money while you sleep. The more streams you build, the less dependent you are on one paycheck. Opportunities are everywhere if you're willing to look and take action. The road out of poverty is not built with one giant leap. It is built with small, consistent steps that compound over time. Every step forward, no matter how small, weakens the old program and strengthens the new one. Real stories show that breaking free from poverty programming is possible. A single mother working 2 jobs decided to start a side hustle selling homemade baked goods. At first, she earned only a few dollars a week, but as word spread, her small business replaced one of her jobs. Today, she has steady income, savings, and the ability to be present for her kids. A blue-collar worker spent decades in construction. Instead of wasting his overtime pay, he invested a portion into index funds month after month. He never chased quick profits. He stayed consistent. When retirement came, he had more than enough to live comfortably without fear. An immigrant arrived in North America with almost nothing. He worked long hours, saved aggressively, and opened a small cleaning business. He hired others, expanded, and built contracts with offices across his city. Within 10 years, he owned a profitable company and multiple rental properties. These people weren't born into wealth. They weren't lucky. They chose to reprogram their mindset. They chose to take consistent action. They chose to replace poverty's partners with prosperity's partners. If they can do it, so can you. Your background does not decide your future. Your programming does, and programming is something you can change starting today. Poverty is not only about money, it is about mindset, choices, and habits repeated over time. Wealth is also not only about money, it is about freedom, options, and the ability to serve others while taking care of yourself. When you reject the partners of poverty and invite the partners of prosperity, your life begins to shift. Diligence replaces laziness. Service replaces selfishness. Wisdom replaces ignorance. Business replaces dependence. Money stops being something you fear and becomes a tool you direct. Every dollar becomes a soldier working for your future. Every habit becomes a brick in the foundation of your freedom. Remember this truth: poverty is a program. Wealth is also a program. You get to decide which one runs your life. Start today by choosing one poverty habit to fire. Replace it with one prosperity habit to hire. Over time, those choices build a path no one can take from you. This is the passive path, where we uncover the mindset and strategies to escape poverty and build lasting wealth. If this message resonated with you, hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your financial future begins with the choices you make today. Take the next step and keep walking the path toward freedom. Feel free to explore other videos on this channel to keep building your knowledge and your wealth. I'll see you in the next video.